Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and I have no idea how this business runs. No idea how it operates.
We also did a half an hour show with Mo just for Twitch, I guess.
Yeah. And then this morning, Tom and I did the thing that should rest everybody, or put everybody at ease, is that we, as the two business owners here, we conferred this morning. We had a small meeting about our taxes, and we have no idea what's happening.
Yeah. And then we shook hands.
And then as I left yesterday, I said, it makes me feel like a dumbass. You'll remember this. I go, it makes me feel like a dumbass. And he goes, it makes me feel like a dumbass too. And then we shook hands.
Dumbass bomb.
Yeah, we had a dumbass bomb.
Yeah. And then we left. Just as confused as when we started.
That is a true story. That was, dumbasses unite.
Yeah.
Write that down as a shirt. That's good.
And then we started screaming, do other businesses have this problem?
Yeah.
And then we couldn't figure it out.
We couldn't figure it out because we don't know any other businesses.
We have no idea. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they do. And then, but I was like, how could it be?
And then we said we were dumbasses and shook hands and we left for the day. Hey! Joining us on the big red couch is one of my most favorite people from the DeWitt law firm. It is our good friend, Moses DeWitt. Do I call you Mo or Moses?
I like Mo. Moses is very,
It's a good name, though.
It's a good strong name.
It is a good strong name. I mean, some would say it's like top 3 biblical names, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
You're a heavy hitter if you got Moses. I got Daniel, Lion's Den. Moses higher. It's a better. What do you do? Is Tom in the Bible?
I'm sure it is.
Of course.
It's on the back somewhere.
Tom, Joe, John, it's all the same.
Thomas is famous for having doubted the resurrection of Jesus and for demanding physical proof of the wounds of Christ's crucifixion.
That is spot on. Doubting Thomas. Doubting Thomas.
Yeah, the phrase doubting Thomas was coined for his lack of faith.
You have no, that is so spot on.
I doubt that story's real.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mo, I got to ask you before we start into the legal questions. I have to ask you a promotional business question.
Okay.
And this has to do with John Bustecker, who is sitting right next to me, making me nervous.
He's the chief officer of marketing.
Yeah. And the
CMO, chief marketing officer. Sorry.
So Mo,
chief marketing
you order lots of promotional items, correct?
That's what they tell me.
Yeah.
Now I will say that step one, Mo always calls them promotional items. We call them hunks of ass or Chinese garbage.
Yeah. And, they happen to all come from a certain region.
Yeah, they do
I don't know why.
for some reason. Always on a container.
Listen, if Canada made them cheaper, I'd order from Canada. Right. What do you want? Anyway, so we recently ordered a promotional item for our BDM appreciation party.
Okay.
It's coming up next week that you are a sponsor
yes.
of.
And thank you so much for that. We certainly appreciate it.
That will be, I believe, giving out some Mo hot sauce at the party and setting up the tent and giving away some other promotional items. Right? So one of the promotional items that we ordered for our BDMs is, and we're going to keep this a surprise, but what
way to ruin it.
What John Bustecker said to me, I have to throw him under the bus.
Wow, why would you do that?
So he.
Why are you worrying?
You're going to throw a bus under the bus?
Yeah, why you can't do that?
So we got the promotional item shipped to us, and then when we opened it, we were like, well, this isn't right. And then we got all mad. Daniel got mad.
Oh, I was real mad.
And
when I get mad too, like I see something like that, I'm like, cancel everything. It's off. It's off.
And then we Daniel sent a picture to.
No, I did not.
Eric
not. In fact, I took a page out of your book in that I didn't want to freak Eric out, so I pretended it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
You've been teaching me.
No, I said, well, this doesn't help.
You're teaching me your ways.
And
Samantha sent a picture to him, and he
Oh.
instantly wanted to off himself.
No, he was just like, oh, this is not right. So, and then they're getting it fixed, and the companies said, all right, we'll fix it. Anyway, and so the box is sitting right in the front of our door.
Yeah, because we're too lazy to move it to a different spot.
And then Bustecker, he comes in here, and he's got a little.
What's this?
He still has a little bit of sheriff in him because
he's searching everything without a warrant.
He's curious.
He starts just picking through our stuff.
He's like a small.
What do we have here?
The Curious George of Orlando.
What do we have here?
Yeah.
The Curious George of
He
Orlando
still
is in there.
insists on carrying a badge and a gun in the office. I don't know why.
He's always opening our cabinets and looking at our drawers. He's curious.
And he hands on his hips.
He's
he
like,
wanders
he's
through.
like Orlando's Columbo.
I'm just trying to work over here, and he wanders in. He's like, "What do you got going on?" And then
Like, hey, what's in the box?
he starts picking through our stuff, and he looks in
It's
the box.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
And he's like, what is this? And then I'm like, it's a
It's a weed bag.
It's a promotional item that we ordered for BDM.
No. That is not a promotional item.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
Mo
you're
gives
right.
out is promotional item. That is Chinese garbage.
No. Well, I
That
said,
is Chinese garbage.
It's not even a promotional item. It's a printed item that we got special. It's more than promotion because they're expensive.
It's so special, it's wrong.
And then I was like, but it's printed wrong, so we're gonna return them. And then Bussecker looks at it, and he's like, what the hell's wrong?
It looks great.
And then I'm
It's
like, what do you
awesome.
mean?
Sell it.
It's just a tiny square. The whole thing's supposed to be. You see this? I'm gonna throw it.
I want to see it.
Okay, it's.
So-
Are you gonna say?
Wow, great throw.
I threw it behind
God
the
damn
couch.
it.
He can't get it now.
That's lost.
You have to grab another one. Grab another one. We
we
got
don't get 'em
1,000 of
back.
these poorly printed.
Don't forget, we got to find that
so-
one.
Are you even saying what it is? Or you don't want to say what it is?
I guess
Don't throw it again.
Oh my God! Stop throwing these things.
It's, so Mo, you see the
Yeah.
obvious.
I mean, it's supposed to be bigger. I get it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the whole thing.
It's
and
supposed to
just,
be a full print supplemation.
And
Yeah.
if it's just a square in the middle,
Then it
it's
looks
a
like
cheapo.
like a
Well,
bushling
cheapo.
garbage.
Yeah.
Couldn't,
what is
couldn't
this?
afford full print.
Well, it's
He's
like,
saying,
supposed to
what
say
is it?
Corporate Time with
It's
Tim and Doug?
obviously a cloth condom. You idiot.
it's a sunglass case for your
Yeah, it's not a
sunglasses.
case. It's a sunglass sleeve. We can't afford cases.
Yeah,
you
the cases
idiot.
we could not afford.
Well, anyway,
Mo's over here selling luggage.
So I
Yeah.
was like, how did
Finest
Bussecker
luggage in
not?
all the land.
He was just like, it's fine. And you're like, he didn't notice that it
Yeah.
doesn't look good.
I like that Bus
Sorry.
has lower standard. Bus is like, sell them. Sell them to everybody.
I mean, most people probably would be fine with it, honestly. It's free. I mean, yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah, well, it's for
They
BDMs.
clown us.
No, I know. And they pay us, our customers. Anyway, so Mo, I have a question, a legal question.
The
this
chat
time.
room is asking, how bad is it? Do you have it? I'll put it on the camera. It's terrible.
Well, yeah, it's only in
Look,
the.
it's supposed to be a fully supplemented sunglass case, like with all
Yeah.
of our logos
Like
to
the
celebrate
carpet,
basically like 15 years of doing the show. Close enough. All of our different logos from the Danger Brain, and it is just it's trash. It's garbage.
So Mo, I watched the Pamela Anderson documentary.
Yeah.
That's
recently.
a hard turn to horniness.
This leads into a legal question. So in the documentary, she mentioned that she didn't get any compensation for the sex tape, and
Right.
basically it got stolen from her. Yeah. People started selling it.
It's really sad when you dig down and see just if you write it all out on a piece of paper, it seems like the type of crime that like, how could I not clean this up? Like, how could I not?
I think laws have improved since then on some of that stuff.
Gotcha.
But
because
Interesting. Oh, I didn't even take time into consideration. That's
yeah.
why Mo's in a
Internet was murky back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really. I mean, it is now, but I mean, they've made a lot of headway.
But I was like, how does someone steal your
Even
personal?
like revenge porn wasn't illegal till
Yeah,
very recently,
yeah,
and it's not
yeah.
even legal or illegal in all the states either.
Correct.
So
That's what
Which
I was
state
gonna
was like,
correct.
not.
There's
We're fine with
Probably
it.
a lot.
There's a handful. I mean, like when you really start digging into laws, it'll surprise you. You know, like
So we started looking at it, and basically she was like, this got stolen from me, and we were confused of how does someone steal your sex tape, sell it for reportedly 77 million
Tons.
was profited off of this
in the first year.
In the first year. Now that's through a lot of distribution points and
Right.
people, and then like how do you have no recourse over that? And because that can't be still the case, right? If someone steals your sex tape, you can't just sell it for profit.
typically, no. I mean, I think there was a lot that happened in between there. First, the guy stole it from her house out of the safe, right? And then some guy was bootlegging and sending like actual VHS tapes, and he was selling them for like $100 a pop or something. Obviously, he didn't make $77 million doing it that way. Once the internet came about and it got on the internet, and then somebody started distributing it or something along those lines, I don't remember exactly. That's where it really started, getting out there and being shown. And she did file a lawsuit with somebody, and she would have won that lawsuit. But the problem is that they signed a settlement agreement with whoever they sued, and their attorney basically screwed it up, frankly, where they settled the case, but the person still had the rights to the video or there's some loophole where they could still distribute it, and she was no longer entitled to anything. So they paid the settlement, and the other people still own the tape, and now they can legally sell it and sell it for even more money.
Wow. So it was all a problem of the settlement.
There's a problem with the settlement agreement. Whoever did the settlement agreement did not think through, and I forget what the loophole was exactly, but I think partially because the internet was somewhat new at this time, they hadn't really thought about how videos were distributed through the internet, and it did not account for that in the settlement agreement. So then they legally had the rights to continue to sell it for somehow.
So, I mean, this brings up a good point because I know in lawsuits, sometimes like an insurance company or another giant corporation will try to settle quickly with you. And that's why it's important to make sure that Mo is looking through the settlement agreement.
You want to know what's in the settlement agreement.
Watch my sex tape, Mo, and tell me if I'm getting the right deal. This is me and my wife.
Another sex tape case, Dan? Come on.
Cancun. I know. They're piling up. They're piling up.
Because you can be screwed in a settlement agreement if you don't read all the fine print, especially if something happens to you later on. There was a complication from an accident or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in injury cases, this is pretty standard that, once you settle the case, any future medical treatment, that you have to pay for, right? You can't go back after the insurance company or the person who's at fault again and again and again. It's a one-time settlement. That's the end of it. But you also want to make sure, a lot of times they'll put confidentiality clauses in there. They'll put non-disclosure agreements in there. So you want to know what's in there and know what your rights are. Safelite didn't put a confidentiality agreement, so we can talk about it all we want.
All right. Take that, Light.
Yeah.
I'm keeping the $2,000.
and then this led me to either like another question about it seems like suing an individual is way more difficult, especially because it depending on how shady they are. Because I was looking at this person, and the person who stole the sex tape and distributed it, there was a mafia involved or something. Like,
yeah, it was real shady.
It was all shady, and it seemed like a lot of the money just got absorbed into the criminal underworld and through
some
people.
of it did.
And then so that told me, I was like, well, if you're not suing a corporation or an insurance company, like, and you're suing an individual, then that individual could, like, basically the money, even if they had money, which most people don't, like, a lot of it can be transferred and absorbed into other things and, like, moved into corporations and, like, protected in some way. And then it becomes nearly impossible to even get some sort of settlement or get money from that person, because theoretically on paper they've got lawyers and it's just there's no actual money to be get.
Well, I mean, in most lawsuits, like, if you hit me with your car, I sue you, but you have insurance. Like, the lawsuit doesn't say that, but in court, it's me versus Tom Van. But there's insurance behind it. So the question always is there insurance or is there assets to back up a potential judgment? And so that's what you have to look at when you're making a decision to go after somebody. Now, when you're looking at the criminal underworld, and there was so many people involved in this, I don't even think they knew a lot of the people until afterwards. But then once it got on the kind of the mainstream distribution networks, that's where they could kind of trace people. And obviously those people were receiving money and it was going somewhere. So they could have, gone after that. But again, they kind of entered into a poorly written settlement agreement and probably settled it for very little money, given what was actually made off the tape.
Yeah, it's funny too, because that is exactly how I still have a copy of the tape. Or actually, I think it's sold at my mom and dad's estate sale.
That's an odd thing.
Embarrassing thing to buy. You walk by and you buy the Pamela Anderson sex tape. What's interesting about that?
It's vintage.
Yeah, I mean, I should have kept it. I thought I did, but I don't
put that out on the table.
I don't think Andrea was like, oh, let's put that in the box of keepers. But on what's funny is that they got a big I remember them getting the distribution deal after the original settlement, which is what Mo is talking about, because it was like with a big company. Like, I want to say it was like with Vivid.
I think it was Vivid.
And it
like
came
that.
in the standard big box, and they got, they know what they're doing. And it was it shady? Did you know you were looking at something that, like, legally had fallen through a loophole or a crack? Yes. And it felt that way, too.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, they settled, but they didn't settle for enough. And because I remember even asking, like, how can I even buy this? And they're like, nah, they settled, and now they're selling it. So I think it tricked a lot of people, at least it tricked me into thinking, oh, well, obviously, just like Kim Kardashian or anyone else, they're in on it.
Yeah.
And but then when you watch the documentary of
They
Pamela
weren't.
Anderson, you realize they're not, and then you feel really bad for her. You're like, oh my god, because
Not only were they not in on it, they didn't make any money on
not
it.
a dime. So yeah,
I bet you nowadays social
At least
media,
old Kardashian, she cut herself a deal.
right.
like social media would have put so much pressure on Vivid. If they did that nowadays, they wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Because
You're
they would be
right.
exposed.
Like, what are you
to-
doing? You're ruining her. Like, yeah.
Back then,
yeah.
where everybody's like, oh, okay, we're like, no one
but
knew
now
the
it'd probably
truth.
be some shady underground. You know,
Yeah.
they might be worth millions, but it's XYZ Corporation out of Canada that nobody knows who they actually are.
Yeah.
And they're making $50 million, and yet you'd have to go after them legally for it. But with the settlement agreement, I think the problem is that they got paid money, but they didn't get the rights back to the video. And I think they released the rights to whoever else it was in exchange for the money. So had they actually gotten the rights to the video back, then they could go back and sue every single person who kept putting it out there and shutting them down and getting damages from them, and kind of be this whole thing to keep it under wraps, and it eventually probably die down. But since they assigned the rights to these people, they could legally do whatever they wanted from that point.
So it's
I
a
will
weird anomaly that happened in the case
Well,
that
it's
allowed the.
It's poor lawyering, frankly.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know the lawyer involved, but when you look at the case as a whole and look at what happened, clearly that was not supposed to happen. It doesn't sound like that was
lawyer's
anticipated.
name here appears to be DJ Spanky D.
Oh, he's usually a very good, very good
DJ
attorney.
Spanky D.
And one more legal question that is going on now with Dwayne Haskins.
A little more sad.
And he was a quarterback. He played for Pittsburgh at the time. Died in Miami. Got hit by a truck. It was really mysterious of how this all came about.
Is that late at night or something?
Yeah, and
he was going to get gas, I guess, or pulled over, right?
So they found alcohol, a bunch of alcohol and ketamine in the system, and then now the family is suing any of the bars he was at and claiming that someone spiked his drink with ketamine or whatever.
Overserved him.
Or overserved. But beyond all that and that story, I wanted to talk about being overserved, because it seems hard to prove that you are overserved at a bar, especially because it seems subjective to each bartender and each person
I mean,
of
when
how
they say
to
it's up
tell
to the bartender, I'm like, well, there have been plenty of times that I've gone to a bar. I mean, I'm hammered, and I'm like, well, I'm there, and they'll give me a beer. Or there have been plenty of times, well, no, there's been never a time when I've walked up inebriated and asked for a drink that I didn't get it.
But it's also that's why police give breathalyzers, because just the field sobriety is a little bit subjective, and so then they want the more technical breathalyzer. So how does anybody win a case when they try to say that someone's been overserved?
Well, in Florida, we have the Dram Shop Act. So basically, you can only sue a bar or someone serving liquor for damages like that if the person's a known alcoholic or if they're a minor. So those are kind of the two exceptions there. So minor's fairly straightforward, obviously. It can get a little tricky if somebody used a fake ID and things like that. And you have to say, well, you should have known that this was a fake ID. Known alcoholic can be a little bit tougher, obviously. So, the cases that I've heard, I had a buddy of mine who handled one of these. They send investigators out, and this guy he would go to, I'll change the name of the restaurant just to protect it.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
No, he went to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
Every day, Monday through Friday after work.
And his
he
name
went
was
every day.
Daniel.
His name was
And
Daniel.
He always left his gun in his glove box before he walked in, because there's a sticker on the door that says "Don't bring your gun in."
It's very responsible.
Never disrespect the Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's
Very
B-dubs.
responsible driver.
B-dubs.
But
I call it B-dub-dub.
he would go there every day. He would have 10 drinks in a 2-hour period or something, and then go home. And so ultimately, I think he got in an accident. Something happened. So the attorney who was handling the case sent an investigator to Buffalo Wild Wings. Again, we're making that up. That's not the actual restaurant.
Not the real place. He's like, I love the mango habanero.
And would just see how many drinks they would serve him within a 2-hour period. And every day they would serve him 20 drinks. Well,
Oh my God.
so that's kind of the evidence that they use to show that this restaurant should have known that this guy was a known alcoholic, because he was there every day. He was having a large amount of drinks within a short period of time. And so that's how they have to build that case. But typically those cases are very difficult to bring. I don't know how they're going to try to prove this in this case. It may be a situation that, given, he was a football player, the damages are so high that they're just hoping for a settlement, even if they can't fully prove it if it were to go to court. But the bars may say, hey, we're going to take it to court. We think it's worth the risk, and see what happens.
Gotcha. So it's not just as easy to say, hey, this person, was obviously drunk because he had 5 drinks or whatever,
Right.
and then there's without any evidence.
No, it's a much higher standard in Florida. Other states do have that lower standard, but because of the Dram Shop Act here, it is a much more difficult standard.
Dram chop?
Dram shop, DRAM
Dram
shop.
shop. I thought at first you
do
said
you
lamb
remember
chop.
that?
I thought you said lamb chop. It's like the lamb chop.
Mo, I can't remember our password to our bank.
I got my anniversary wrong again. I got my anniversary
These things
wrong.
happen.
I said it
Does
is.
it happen?
I go. It's April
Dram Shop Act.
7th, and then she's like 10th, and I go 17th.
You're close.
I was just asking you to make something up. You actually remembered an act.
Dram chop, lamb chop, buddy.
Well, Mo,
What
thanks
is a
so much.
dram chop?
Oh, it's delicious.
What is it?
All right,
Do you know what a dram chop is?
what do you mean? Like, what did the word he said? That's
Yeah.
probably someone's name, right?
It's dram shop, not chop.
Oh, dram
SHOP.
shop.
Oh, yeah.
What's a
Yeah.
dram shop?
Yeah, it's probably someone's last name.
Does anyone know what a dram shop is?
All right.
I'm assuming it relates to like shops that serves alcohol or something along those lines.
Dram. What's a dram?
Yeah.
But you got a dictionary around here?
I don't know.
A dram shop is a commercial establishment that sells alcoholic beverages, including
go.
bars, taverns, and restaurants.
Let's change hookups to Tom and Dan Dram Shop.
I've never heard of
Water-
that.
take off.
watering holes could be dram shops.
I like how everybody here looked at me like I was some idiot. I'm like, does anybody know what that is? And you're like, just shut up, kid. Can you just shut up and stop asking a stupid question? I'm like, well, don't you want to learn something? Don't you guys want to turn over a rock and learn something?
Well, I assumed
Don't you want to be
someone's
smart? Dram Shop?
last name because I've never heard of
Yeah,
Dram
because
Shop.
Dram Shop sounds like a person's name. You're the dumbest.
No, am I the dumbest? Like all legal stuff is like usually it's
Dram Shop?
No.
Mr. Shop?
It's like
Danny
Roe
Dram
versus
Shop.
Wade. It's two people's names. You know what I'm saying?
Dram and Shop.
No,
Like a mediocre time with Dram Shop? Dram and Shop?
Who's ever heard of Dram Shop? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
No, I've heard of Lamb Chop.
that's some old timey.
Well, dram is a Scottish word for a small drink of whiskey or other
Oh, look, Buzz
spirits.
he's like, I knew that. I know what dram is. Like, yeah, everybody's a genius now.
Also, a fluid dram equals 1/8 of a fluid ounce. So it's also a measurement.
Man, you're opening up the measurements now. Dram Shop. What if we sold lamb chops at our Dram Shop? Right?
Lamb Shop, Dram Shop.
Yeah, it'd be a lamb chop, dram shop.
Write that down. All right. Next
Another
time you see
brilliant
us,
idea.
Mo, we'll be rich.
Tom and Dan shops, Dram Shop, lamb chops.
The DeWitt Law Firm, injured on the go. Just call Mo.
Oh.
We appreciate it. Sorry for wasting your time.
Pretty used to it by now.
It feels like we're
Sorry
wasting your
for
time.
wasting your time.
All right, we'll be right back.
Oh, that was really funny.
Is that how you end every segment? I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. We're always like, thank you and
Bye
sorry.
bye.
Oh, that was funny. Good Lord. That was funny. Where's that get Sam?
Thursday 1.
We don't have anything?
No.
All right. Those are the best ones. Well, thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you, sir.
That was super funny. Jesus.
What do we have next?
Dan Reed, but he has not responded back to me with his phone number. I did give him ours, but so hopefully he checks it and calls us.
Who is that?
He owns Cafe Da Vinci.
Cafe Da Vinci.
What's Cafe Da Vinci? I've heard of it.
Deland.
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay, yeah.
Nice spot.
People always like post stuff from there.
Really, really pretty little bar.
It was funny. Like Safelight started like yelling at us and freaking out. I was like, "This is not my problem."
Right.
They're like, we need a check sent back today. I was like, "I'm not in the office. Like, this is not my problem. You'll get a check. Like,
This is
when
your
you-
fault.
Yeah, you get the check back when you get the check back. Like,
Right.
Why would they yell at you?
What are they?
Dude,
What are they?
they're
Are they
a
paying?
terrible company.
But are they paycheck to paycheck? Like
Sounds like it.
do they need the
I
money
think somebody
back
was worried about like getting fired. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing. Love you guys.
Stop
Thanks for
screwing up.
coming in.
Yeah.
Good seeing
See
you.
you guys later.
Take
Bye.
make sure to take a misprinted sunglass bag before you
I
leave.
think we have to send those back.
Worth a lot of money. One day.
Yeah, are they gonna count them?
We might have to, yeah.
You think they'll count them?
I think they would.
If we don't, or if they don't make us send it back, we're gonna give them out as promotional. Because free is good enough.
Yeah, exactly. So how that thing break?
Oh, it's way back there.
Dude, yeah, it's just an anomaly. It's separated from
The silicone lip just separated.
and over a shoulder. And they did say, they're like, didn't you notice sand going in between? And now that I see, like, there's sand all here that must, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I didn't notice that.
Did you notice it? I mean, like,
Yeah. And so, you know, we're going through the whole, hopefully get money back from the actual tank company. They have insurance. So it just, you know, we had to call Servpro and it was $2,500 for them too. Because they know that it's going to go through insurance.
Yeah, so they just charge whatever.
Yeah, and then they give you a whole packet to submit to your insurance.
But they just bring a fucking fan.
Yeah, I was telling you, I was like, fan of factor, $25,000. But dude, that's that's why our insurance is so.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this morning. We have Dan Reed from Cafe Da Vinci coming in today.
Nice calling.
Or calling in? Great.
Hopefully, if he reads his email.
Well, if he doesn't, he doesn't. It's fine. We'll still get the
We'll be here.
plugs out.
I don't know. Bus is busy now. He's working for Mo. But hopefully we'll get him in here more often now that he's not working for the Popo.
I'll get back with you. I'm waiting on Sean. He's trying to figure out some stuff.
Yeah, no problem. And again, I don't want to step on anybody's toes if their event.
He still needs to figure out if he can do the event. So we're working on it.
Just let us know.
I will. Because I need him to tell me soon. Because I don't want this to be a week out and then we're starting to promote it. I want to do it now. Yeah. So, but I guess I think he has to get some higher ups to say okay. So.
See you, boss. Good seeing you, man. All right. Just chilling.
Gotta figure out a way to get invited on Mo's plane down to the Keys.
Just ask him. Just say like, hey, I have, I have a cousin that I don't talk about very often, but she has muscular dystrophy.
Oh,
And she has a charity event down in the Keys.
I'm
and
sure if you just ask,
she
they'll
wants
take you.
me to go there. I'm a big podcaster and host it. Can I tag along one time down there? And then right as you're in the air, just, they canceled the event. I can hang out with you guys. What do you think of that?
I can't ask him, Sam, because
He's not your friend?
No, because then it seems like I'm lower. In
Well, you
the
are
business
lower.
World
You are lower than
Do
than
you
I am.
think that you're not?
You think
No,
he's
no,
even?
Do you
no,
think
no,
that
it's
Mo
even.
thinks that you're not?
He thinks it's even.
Maybe there's an
Mo
evenness
has a
because-
series of men that walk with him to do things for him.
Yeah.
What do you have?
You're tossing shitty sunglass
Yeah.
bags at him.
Yeah. What they been
Look, okay. One word, I'll say. We have Mo, and then we have you. This is you. I'm joking. Am I higher than
Who
you
put
in
down
the
my
business world?
whiteboard? Why
Tom
is it-
did.
Why?
Because a
I
woman wrote it.
No,
He told me
I-
that. He's like, can you rewrite
Got to
this?
do our
I
plugs.
didn't-
He's like, can you
I didn't put
rewrite
it down.
this and be like less negative?
Oh, you're gonna get it. You're being mean to Tom today, not me.
Yeah, I'll be mean to everybody.
I don't even care. Why do the listeners care?
These motherfuckers ready to fight me.
No.
I'll take them all on.
Oh my God. Dan didn't get the email.
Well, I don't know what to do.
That's fine. If he calls
Yeah,
in, we'll just do the
just,
segment. If
do
he
the
calls
segment.
in, we'll
All right.
Emails, voicemails?
Sure.
and I'll plug the DeLand Beer Fest because that's what you want to talk about anyway.
Oh, DeLand Craft Beer Week?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Is it
Oh,
this
that's a
weekend
good-
or next
I think
weekend?
it's
You know what sucks is dance, because I used to go to that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me get the details.
Because that's just what he wanted to talk about. So
Yeah, we can totally get that.
DeLand Craft Beer Festival next week on the 15th.
Okay.
okay.
I'm on the Main Street DeLand website right here. All right, buddy. You want me to bring us back?
Sure.
Here we go. This is a comeback, right?
Yeah. Thursday too?
Thursday, too. Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back to a corporate time.
Real quick, this Saturday, April 15th, it's oh no, it's not. Oh, that's next Saturday. Oh no, is
Yeah,
this
it's
Saturday?
April
It's this
15th. Yeah,
Saturday.
you got it right. You're getting confused because it is April 15th, but it's the 14th annual
Okay, yeah.
DeLand Craft Beer Festival.
And go swing by Cafe Da Vinci,
Yeah,
grab a Just Call Mo watering hole pint glass, and also enjoy it. Not like their craft beer week is really
It's pretty awesome. I mean, you got live music, food trucks, 200 different beers, and the proceeds benefit the Main Street DeLand Association, a 501c3. That is my hometown. This is one of your more quaint and I would say pretty beer fests. So head on over there and do something good. And
live music, food trucks, and more than 200 beers.
yeah, Cafe Da Vinci's rad. It's just a good venue, man, especially like in the evenings when it's nice and cool. You get out under the stars and under their lights, and they have these beautiful trees that kind of canopy the area. It's really, really nice. A nice little date night area. So go by our good friends over at Cafe Da Vinci, and when you do, grab that Mo glass and tell them that we sent you.
You want to do some voicemails?
Yeah,
some
let's do voicemails. Because actually, let's do email first because we've been neglecting the emails, and they'll give me enough time to load these guys up. Do we have anybody that's needing attention?
Well, this is from our buddy Cadillac Pat, who I did visit last weekend after I went and saw the Super Mario movie.
Crazy person.
Hi, gang. It's your boy Cadillac Pat. It's 3:49 in the morning. I just woke up and felt compelled to write to you.
Like I said.
For years, I have kind of hallucinated with my eyes open, laying in bed as I kind of sleep.
There it is.
It just happened.
Yep.
It's usually something to do with the fan or something on the ceiling because that's the way I'm facing. Sometimes, like just now, I am kind of aware it's happening and allow it to keep going and keep watching until it stops and I officially wake up, or I try and control it a little. Only been able to manipulate them just a little before I kind of wake up. Have any of y'all had anything like this? That's all. Love you all. The show has been so good lately. Keep it up.
Yeah, I do that, Pat. I can stare at... I've made that joke before about staring at the ceiling fan, and then I'll watch the blades, and I'll watch one particular blade, and I'll make my eyes go around as fast as the fan so I can stop the blade on the ceiling. And then I just follow it a million times, and I just sit there confusing myself.
That's what a crazy person's
yeah.
eyes do.
Yeah.
Well,
I do the hoodly goodly or whatever you call it. I do the.
Is that what he's saying he's doing, or does he is he falling in and out of consciousness, and then
it makes you fall in and out of consciousness,
like hallucinating, but he's.
is it like sleep paralysis?
I think maybe a little bit of that.
Crystal used to have that, where she would wake up and then for
terrifying.
3 or 4 Mississippis, she was just frozen, but her eyes, she could see. She said when she used to sleep in class, she remembered.
That's good.
She's not a good student. So she had a science teacher one time. She was sleeping, and then her eyes were open, and the science teacher was like, "Crystal, wake up!" And then she was just frozen.
What?
And her eyes were open, so she could see what was going on, and it was a sleep paralysis, your brain, I guess there's a lag because your brain releases a chemical when you're sleeping to keep you from sleepwalking. That's why people that sleepwalk, they don't. That's what's
they don't
wrong
have
with
that
it.
chemical, right?
And then it basically it makes you paralyzed.
I have
while you're sleeping.
something like a restless leg or something lately, and I know I have a lot of issues with my back and my hips. I've been working on that, but lately I'll have in my dream. And it's not just in my dream. It's in reality. My right leg, in my dream, I'll need to straighten my leg.
Uh-huh.
And I guess when I'm laying in bed, I'm laying in a fetal position. But when I go to straighten my leg, I've been tensing, almost being nervous in my sleep, anxious. And I've been tight while I was sleeping. I sleep straight like a soldier, at a every muscle of my body is just squeezed.
My God, man,
yeah.
no relief.
No relief. And so I'm squeezed, right?
You have
and then
sleep anxiety?
Yeah, sleep anxiety. And my legs and my arms are tight. Everything's tight. And then I'll go, in my dream, I'll go to extend my right leg. And I'll go to extend it, and it'll hurt so bad that I'll scream. I'll go, yeah! Yeah! And then Andrea will wake me up. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I did the tight hips again. And I'm crying.
My God, you need to do some ayahuasca or something.
Yeah, it's bad, man. I find myself when I'm watching TV, I'll be watching TV, and then I'll do a body scan, and my whole body is just tight. My whole body is flexed. It's relax, and then I have to physically go, and then release, and then I have to let myself kind of blob out.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Yeah, I'm always anxiety tight.
Yeah,
Always tight.
Yeah.
But I feel that's what's going to make me lose my elasticity. I feel that's why my butt is wide open now. I feel why everything is getting loose.
Oh.
Is because you can't stay tight all the time. It's impossible to stay tight all the time.
Yeah, but wouldn't that build
Your
muscle?
entire body is a dance of tight and relax and tight, right? You're not supposed to stay tight all the time. If you tight all the time, you lose your elasticity. And then you get a big old beehole. And that's what I'm heading towards.
So being too tight
Yeah.
will make you loose?
I think so.
right.
Because you can't stay tight all the time.
Okay, yeah. Man.
This is just science. man. I'm
Ayahuasca,
just-
something. You need to blow it out. Something.
He's blowing it out.
It's
That's
just
the problem.
science. It's just science. Is anybody else not like the whole chat room is like he's the crazy one? Like I've officially settled the debate.
We can get a shaman. We could do it out
I'll
in the
do
woods.
it. I just know Andrea's afraid that's going to change my personality completely.
Well,
But what if it's for the better?
Yeah.
I've never
I
heard
don't-
of anybody coming out worse other than the one guy that died.
Yeah. But that.
He had a
I mean,
condition.
that doesn't scare you? As the paranoid member of the show, you
Nah, I
just
got
said
pretty
the
good genetics.
only person that had a problem was the guy who died.
Well,
Yeah, but my family's full of addicts and they live forever.
Okay, that's true. That's just science
Yeah.
too. All right, you're hitting me with logic.
And then it's not like so many people have died from alcohol. You're taking so it's not not that big of a deal.
right.
Ayahuasca, if it's just one death,
Plenty of
everybody
people
else
die of alcohol every day. Hundreds, thousands.
So I mean, it seems like I'd like to do it. I'm just scared of it.
I'm
More
scared
people
of it
die
too.
in car accidents. I still get in a car every day.
I'm
Yeah,
scared
yeah,
of it too.
Yeah, I'm just scared of
Car
the
ride's
freak
not
Get
out.
that
intense,
sweet,
though.
sweet leaf juice.
Okay, what if they gave it to you
Can
and
you do
had
just
you,
a
put you
touch?
asleep so you don't remember it, or give you the
I
drug?
don't think that's how it works.
No,
I
don't
think you have
that-
to go
I think
through
you gotta
the
go
motions
through
of
it.
it all.
I think part of it is going through the I'm throwing up.
The chanting and
and the
I'm not gonna
being
chant. You think
scared.
Tom's
well,
gonna
you
chant?
don't. The shaman does.
Tom ain't gonna
Yeah,
chant,
I'm
and
not
if the guy
chanting
starts
nothing.
chanting and hitting drums, Tom will be like, "Knock that ass off!"
Yeah. Even ayahuasca, I won't chant. They're like,
All right, now put your hands in the center. No. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, can we do it without the uncomfortable, shaman? It's
part of the process,
with
man.
with the headdress and the shells.
You
I
don't
want
even
that.
need that.
Yeah.
The only reason you would need that is if it meant something to me, and it means
No,
nothing to
he
me.
helps you not go down the wrong path, and then demons are coming to get
No,
you.
I'm talking about the headdress and his little loincloth. I don't need that because it means nothing to me. So you can just wear like shorts and a t-shirt.
Or scrubs. That's
Yeah,
fine. It's
scrubs
like-
would actually make me feel safer if you wore scrubs.
Can we just get a nurse with scrubs and then I do it in like a
I don't want no
hotel?
scrubs.
Like I don't want to be in a hut with a puke
No hut.
bucket and then the shells.
I don't want it to be hot. Can we
Yeah.
do it in the cool?
Can I do it?
You
at,
can do it in a hotel room.
Can I do it at the Hyatt?
No, I don't want to do it in a hotel room.
Why not? It's comfortable.
That's what Neil Brennan does.
No,
Yeah.
it'll look like all the pornos I watch. Yeah, like, I don't want to see that.
I think the rich
Oh
celebrities.
yeah, they got guys.
They do it
in
at-
New York City.
But they do it in a hotel
Yeah.
and it's comfortable and it's nice.
Yeah, they rent it out for like a whole week.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
Well, she went down to Peru.
Yeah.
She,
I
like,
don't
did
want
she
to
do
go
the real
down to
one?
the
Neil
hut.
Brennan does it like on the reg, and he has a guy here. That
I don't
does
think
it.
you're supposed to do it on the reg, right?
Well, he's addicted
does.
to it.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. He's like, I just keep doing it because it's great
Well,
for me.
he
It's
does
like,
it like once every 6 months.
I think that's too much, right?
yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah, he says
I mean,
he's
how
better than he's ever been in his
Like,
entire life.
How
I
many
mean,
demons
really?
do you have in
But he
there?
says he'll never do DMT
I
again.
listened to his podcast and I didn't think it was that great. You know, I'm just saying if it's like
Well, he mean-
revolutionary.
No, not his content. If you don't like his content, that's different than his mental
But,
state.
yeah, I guess if it keeps
Should have made
helping
you funnier.
if it keeps helping you and there's no like negative effects.
He's off. He said he's off all of his meds.
Well, you know how many people tell me that and are bat-ass crazy?
He did, yeah, but it doesn't
Everybody
seem like
I
he's
know is
badass
like, the whole
crazy.
goal is to get off my I'm off my meds. You know, like then next thing you know, they're remarried and they're like got a mohawk and
I guess,
a
yeah, if you-
He
convertible
seems fine. He's
LeBaron.
been doing it for years.
Yeah, if you could do that chemical instead of another chemical, it's like it's fine.
You're just
but,
swapping them
Yeah,
out.
swapping chemicals.
But it does seem like doing that every 6
well,
months.
it's natural as opposed to the compounded chemicals that doctors make, or not doctors,
But he must
Big pharma.
yeah.
like the experience you could like because all the ones that had changed people, the experience was like it's so
like you're
intense.
nude, you're in a tent, it's hot.
Like it really intense and maybe a little scary and like so maybe for him it's like pleasurable, right?
True.
Could it be pleasurable?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
guess it could be anything to anybody, right?
People didn't describe it as
Yeah,
pleasurable.
I think it's different for different people.
yeah. Like
let's try this voicemail right here.
Hey guys, it's the Barry Joe. Y'all mentioned on today's live stream about some bluegrass and how there's not much of it around. You kind of got to dig for it, but once you get in there, there's a lot of really great stuff out there. Charlie Parr is like one of my number one artists right now.
This is like one of a ton of bluegrass voicemails that we got from people that wanted to correct me. And so I was talking about Billy Strings and how like popular he is in bluegrass, and people are like, "Well, there's tons of good bluegrass, Dan." And I'm like, I'm not saying there's not. It's just not typically popular.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying.
You gotta dig for it.
You got to
right?
dig for it. I mean, this day and age, I mean, you can find pretty much any music you want. You want fresh polka music? You got it. You want polka rap? That's probably out there. You know, if you want Polish rock music, they got it. You know, if you want to dig into Brazilian progressive metal bands, they're
You
out
want
there.
Norwegian reggaeton?
There.
I got you.
It's there. It's all there.
Yeah.
Everything is there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's just not that popular. Like, bluegrass is a sort of a forgotten music. Rock and roll is becoming sort of a forgotten music. I mean, the big music now is hip-hop and pop.
Bluegrass, the southern, typically,
I think so,
stereotypically,
yeah.
like we're talking, I guess,
Kentucky?
Tennessee, North Carolina,
Kentucky,
the
Georgia,
South, all the
Carolinas.
way, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of Florida.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's where you're
Louisiana, maybe?
at. Yeah. Not very much Northwest.
I'm sure it's there.
Portland
yeah.
bluegrass?
I'm sure it's there, but
No,
not,
you know
not
what? Portland
traditionally.
probably would because they're hipster.
Yeah. Canadian bluegrass? There's everything.
Yeah, dude, there's hillbillies in
Yeah,
Canada.
definitely.
Yeah.
And there's European too. You know, I mean, it's just like, I mean, you look at a lot of Scottish music and a lot of even Irish music, a lot of the same instruments and a lot of the same strumming and picking progressions are exactly the same. So it's pretty interesting. But
Brazilian bluegrass.
probably there.
There's
not traditionally, but it's
there's
there.
someone that's doing it.
It's
right there.
somebody's doing it.
On the internet.
That is what's kind of impressive. You
Sam,
know,
look
like,
up Brazilian bluegrass and see if
Okay.
something
I'm sure
pops
there's
up.
somebody doing it, you know.
Everybody's doing everything.
Like, I knew when everybody was doing
Infinity.
everything when I saw an all-white mariachi band.
Matuto Band is Brazilian bluegrass.
Yeah, where
okay,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
people
yeah.
didn't look like I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't think anybody in your family is from a Latin country. I don't think you were born in Mexico. You're just regular white guys that really like mariachi.
Yeah.
There's a Brazilian Bluegrass Music Association.
There you go.
Yeah, there's
Maybe it's,
everything.
you know, it's funny. You start asking questions and you dig in, and then it's like it was deep rooted in the 1880s. You know, like there's stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah. It's all
So much content.
it's everything. You know, there's you could fall into an information hole about every single anything you could possibly think of.
Yeah, it used to be when I'd lay on my floor and I'd look up at my World Book encyclopedias and I'd go, what do I want? Let's go for number R. Wait, no, let's go to H and look at the nude, naked bodies. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You have everything you would ever want to know at your fingertips.
Also, I feel like it's making me feel lazy because I'll think about something and wonder what the answer is, and I will full on know. I could look it up on the internet,
But you'll
and
choose
find
not to.
it, but I'll choose not to because it's just too much work, and then I'll just convince myself I don't care that much.
Okay, what do you think? Let me ask you this.
I was like, who cares?
Let me ask
Move
you this,
on.
because I've been dabbling with Chat GPT to write show notes for our stupid YouTube videos because I don't want to write them.
Yeah.
But like I am seeing a plethora of people that are using like Chat GPT to just write notes on social media. Good or bad? How do you feel about it? Because I feel like if you're using it to write a social media post, you're taking yourself and a lot of like the nuances that make it you
Yes.
out of the equation. So I don't think you should use it there. If you want to use it for something that needs to be a little more business and a little more cold and a little bit more just straight information,
Facts, yeah.
then use it. But if you use it to write a Facebook post, you don't know what you're doing. You're a dumb person if you do that.
Well,
because what it's doing is it's actually changing your personality.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a good representation of what this media form is been labeled, which is social media. It's supposed to be you, right?
Okay, so
Yeah, but most celebrities just have people write their statuses anyway.
I'm just
That's
saying,
right.
I've been
It's not
reading,
you, yeah.
I've been seeing an
Sure.
onslaught of people that are business people, regular people, people that I know, friends of mine, and I look and they'll write something for like a loved one. They'll write something about like their business or something. And I'm like, you didn't write that. You're not smart enough to write that. I know that.
So this goes into this topic. I thought about this the other day.
These people are going to end up getting caught.
When I use grammar checks and the whatever the software is, whatever I'm posting to change my misspellings and fix my grammar,
You got to click on that thesaurus, man. Make yourself look
but
smart.
Is that another example of changing what I actually wrote and correcting it?
Good question.
Because
technically you are using technology because you wouldn't spell it correctly.
and sometimes
Correct.
I make posts
Like
and
Castleberry,
I
yeah.
just hit post
Me too.
and then it's full of and then people actually say like, Tom actually wrote this
Yeah.
because
I actually
you
like it
can't
better if you
spell
write it.
Yeah, but then I feel so stupid showing people how stupid I am.
You got to throw like one typo in there.
but I'm changing it. Should it be just authentic? I write all horrible.
If it looks too
grammar.
perfect,
I don't know, man. You're a
what's
business
funny-
owner. You
I
can't have
gotta
it all.
show. I gotta show them. I gotta show them who I am.
Never show 'em.
it pulls out all emotion, and like even ChatGPT will tell you that. Like it doesn't have the
Sure.
ability to show emotion. It'll tell you that if you ask it. But what's interesting to me is that like I can look at a post now. I think I'm really good at it. Almost as good as I am at hearing your voice and knowing what job you should do. That's been a talent of mine for years. But like I can look at what you wrote and go, "Oh yeah, you didn't write that. There's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
There's no way in hell you wrote that."
And should we, as a
You should
society,
discount people and shame them for doing that. Yes.
should we, as a society, stop? Because people do this all the time with me and with other people. They will make a post, and then all the comments will be correcting their grammar. Like there is
I don't do
THIER.
that
You know what I'm
anymore.
saying? Like,
I don't do that anymore.
And then it's like, well, what are you? Their English teacher? You know what they meant.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
And that means that they're just authentically writing what
Yeah.
they are. And you're also seeing how dumb they are.
I like- no, but I don't-
You know, like,
Or
you're seeing how
real,
uneducated
or
they
seeing
are.
how real they are.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like the mistake that Chris Rock
Leave the
made in his
mistakes.
special. I like the mistake. A lot of people disagreed with me on that. I got a ton of email about it, but I like the mistakes. It makes it real.
It does make it more real.
I like real.
And then like that goes on with all social media too. It's like people are only posting the best times of their life, or you know what I'm saying? Like you're not seeing the mistakes and the worst times.
It's just like if
just
you're
like-
gonna go to a computer and if you need to have artificial intelligence help you share your emotions, this could be like good for you, right? Like you
No.
could sit down at ChatGPT and have it write like a love letter to your wife. But my point would be is
not
that
real.
it's not real.
Yeah.
Like
It's
why would you even do that?
Sam one time with the flowers that we got as a gift. So Sam was like, "Hey, bring these flowers home to your wife."
It was like her birthday week
Yeah, it was a birthday.
or
Which
something. I don't know. Oh, no.
is why she's a good producer. She's looking out for me.
She's,
It
like,
suggested-
she's
but-
really good.
But I told her, I
always
was like,
looking out for us.
And
Never
I think it was
gonna-
your anniversary. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, she'll let the business burn down, but she ain't gonna let us ruin our families. And
But
I appreciate that, Sam.
I was like, but it's meaningless because I didn't buy these for her. Someone
Right.
gave them to us. So
Right.
then re-gifting
so I
them
gave
to
them
her.
to my wife, and I
it-
got a BJ.
Well, it doesn't mean anything, you know. And
It's pointless.
Well, what about when you buy? Do you buy cards for your wife?
I've seen you buy a card for your wife.
I do.
You didn't write the words in that card.
And it's weird, but I only do it because it's tradition, and
Do
I
you
hate
write
doing it.
But you
things
hate
in there, or do you
tradition.
Yes.
just sign it?
No, I write things.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, then see that to me, that's why I think people shouldn't use it. I mean, I see a lot of people, especially a lot of people that are in like personal development world. You know, for whatever reason, I get a lot of that. I think because I'm like friends with, you know, like Mark Marrow and Jenna and Jason. They're those guys, right? They're like
Yeah.
motivators and stuff like that. So I get a bunch of those type of guys on my algorithm, but they're talking about like using this to do stuff like that, like using ChatGPT for that. And I'm like, I don't think you should use that. I think it literally sucks every ounce of emotion out of anything that you would be doing.
Yeah, it seems good for like fact
Pure
based.
like word tractoring.
Yeah, like
You need a heavy lifting.
you know, I know that realtors have started using it for just describing a house,
Right,
you know,
sure.
and things that are
Right.
That's
just,
fine.
you know, and also
I used it for Tropodelic social media plugs. I needed it for show notes on YouTube.
Oh, I shared that in their group.
And I said, hey, give me show notes about Matt Rhodes and Tropodelic and put all their newest social media links in the notes. And he just went, and then I was able to go slap it into YouTube. That's fine. But I wasn't writing a love letter to Matt Rhodes. I would, but, you know.
Yeah, if you're
He's a snack.
you're using it as a
A tractor. That's what old what's his name says.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? The productivity guy started with wine. Everybody loves him.
Started with wine.
He started with wine. Gary V.
Oh,
Okay,
Gary
yeah,
V.
yeah.
He started with wine.
Yeah, he started with wine. He's a wine guy. He started with wine, and he calls ChatGPT the modern day tractor. Because he says it's no different than it can till your lines and it can help you get, curate a bunch of things if you need to line it up. But, it's
I mean,
not
it's
going
good for certain things.
It's not going to plant the seeds.
It is the precursor to something that we're going to start using AI for everything, and then it'll be the next generation.
it'll be a
just
thing.
be
They were really in a simulation.
Yeah. Well, that's the argument that eventually
Yeah.
we're in it now because if
because we're creating it.
Yeah. How do we know we're not in it? Anyway, all right. Bye.
Awesome. Who's next?
That's it. Unless Dan calls us.
Yeah, that's Thursday.
I didn't say it, and I'm not going to.
Let's do.
Let me pee real fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna pee too. Let's just do some content for Friday.
We do need to save at least one segment for Science Center tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll probably only record before lunch, and then we'll get everything
Today, you mean, or tomorrow?
today.
Okay. And we have Jeff and Spencer at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Do we have... Oh, yeah, we got the 17th done.
Yeah, we'll just do what we'll do now. We'll save Jeff and Spencer for the beginning of Friday. So we'll do a segment now for next week. Just generic.
I was going to say maybe something for Tuesday since we're doing BDM and
Yeah.
OG on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. We only have one thing on Tuesday, and it's not till 2 p.m.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know if you want to do BDM and OG before lunch that day.
Yeah, we
okay.
will. We'll do it in the morning like we used to. And then we'll just start recording after lunch ACT.
Max Sabbath is coming to Tampa and the Conduit in Winter Park. Max Sabbath is playing Winter Park Conduit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We're just grabbing our stuff. We didn't want to get rained on or stolen.
Oh, all good, man.
We trust you enough.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
We love you guys. I don't want you to get your stuff ruined.
Maybe I can get an interview with
Is it pouring now?
Not yet. It's about to.
No. Yeah, it's.
Damn it, I picked a great day to ride the scooter.
I thought about that when I walked up.
Not the smartest boy. It's close. I'll be fine. I get wet all the time.
Alright.
I don't worry about it. The only thing I don't like is how people drive around here in the rain. So I've almost been hit on that thing like a billion times.
I didn't buy one.
Yeah.
I was real
It's so dangerous,
No,
man.
I almost bought a moped or whatever, a Vespa or whatever, but I was sort of bummed at the time, but now I'm glad I did because I don't think
Yeah,
I need it.
it is. It's one of those things where it's like I think maybe if I didn't ride as many motorcycles as I did, or really love it as much as I did, that I'd probably get rid of all of them. And I've got that new project where I'm turning the '59 scooter into an all-electric bike.
Oh, okay, cool.
I pulled the engine out of that, and my motor should be here. I'd say like maybe tomorrow.
Cool.
But then I got to mount the swing arm and that, and it's gonna be cool. It's
Yeah.
got a battery on the side, and it'll supposedly go 75 miles an hour
Oh shit.
on like 10-inch wheels. And I'm like, oh my god, man! I was like, I don't know,
Huh.
but I have no interest in that. But I bought all the new cables. I bought all the new lights for it.
Cool.
All LEDs. Yeah, it should be cool.
Cool. Cool.
Well, good seeing you, man. Stay dry out there,
Will
please.
do. Just waiting on the restroom. Oh wait, Sam's in there now.
Oh, people use it to write their cover letters? I could see that. I could definitely see that. Yeah, we talk to YouTube, Charles and Danielle. We do. We talk to everybody. All the messages come through in sort of one big conglomerate of folks. So yeah, we can basically see everybody. We just don't have a strong YouTube presence. I wish we did. I don't even know how to. I don't really even understand any of the new things that we need to do with this recently. Yeah, I do like to. Well, I mean, the Twitch interface is a little easier to mess around with. And I'm not at all saying it's not a bad tool. I just don't think you should use it to write a love letter to your wife. Like, I just think that's, like, kind of defeats the purpose of doing them. Yeah.
But what about, like, when people give artists, like, information to write, like, a song?
Well, see, the difference there is that I would... Okay, here would be my answer to that. It would depend on your wife, right? Would your wife be okay with you saying, hey, I'm not good at singing, or I have no musical bones in my body, so I'm going to use this person as a musician? Because that is exactly what you're doing when you're writing a love letter. It's like you're, right? To argue against what I'm saying, you're saying, well, I'm not good at this, so I'm using a tool I have, ChatGPT, to help me.
But you're, like, inputting things you love about her.
You would have to. And then you would have to do that. I almost feel like in that, like for me, and it's probably be case by case, I'd rather you just give it a shot than hit it out of the park because it is seemingly foolproof, you know? This is a new band I need to check out. We have a listener who has a band they wants to hear out of Apopka called Mind Traveler. Mind Traveler. See you guys.
See ya.
So we'll just do
Tuesday
generic
1 or 3?
Let's do 3.
Okay.
Tuesday 3, and we'll just do generic voicemail. This will be our last segment of the day.
All right. I'll bring us back. Here we go in 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
A couple things. If you want to join our texting service, just text BDM to 844-866-6326, and you can, be opted into our texting service, which will text you important things that are coming up, new merch, things like that, just any information that we deem pertinent to you. Also, a big thanks to our brand new plumbing sponsor, Modern Plumbing Industries, modernpi.com. And we've been looking for a plumber sponsor for a little while.
God, I needed this 2 weeks ago.
We're like, we just missed it.
Yeah, I know. Sam had to replace her hot water heater.
Oh,
this would have been perfect for Modern Plumbing.
It's hard for me. It was hard to get any plumbers to call us back or to show up. Some of them just wouldn't even show up.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well, not Modern. Get
right.
modernpi.com. Get on them.
Also, 10% off if you mention your Tom and Dan
What
listener.
money? I love me some money off.
Yeah,
so
100%.
if I say Tom and Dan to Modern Plumbing, they're going to hook me up.
And they're big enough to cover all of Central Florida. If you look at their range of what
They're
they
pretty big.
Yeah, they have a lot
Big
of bands.
pipes.
Yeah. So thanks to Modern Plumbing Industries.
I'm excited about that.
All right.
I have a job for them at our house, so I will be calling them maybe today.
What should we do? Some voicemails?
Yeah, we could do some voicemails. I got a couple of them. Let's go with this one right here.
Hello, Tom, Dan, and Sam. Zach from Longwood here. Longtime listener, 15 years. I pretty much only listen to the BDM and OG shows. So I'm
Yeah, this guy only listens to BDM and OG shows. I flagged this. I thought it was very, very,
Interesting.
very
listening to
interesting.
this geyser story from Tom, and just to establish some credibility here, I've been golfing since I was like 10 years old. Played some competitive youth golf, played on my high school golf team, even considered going to play golf in college and have professional golf management as my major. But after seeing the rampant alcoholism from a local club pro when I got a job there in high school, I decided to change course.
That was one of my favorite parts of this email, too, is that he saw a local golf pro be a big pink-faced dum-dum. And, man, I knew a guy, the pro at a course when I was growing up. I remember seeing him there because he would do classes during the day and then just walk into the clubhouse and drink when he wasn't doing classes.
Yeah.
It's kind of the perfect job.
Also, golf,
It's a drinking sport.
it's harder to drink when you're playing soccer.
Correct.
Yeah,
it
You're
is.
too much running.
It is.
But with a lot of golf, golf's a lot of driving in a car, standing around.
Hit, driving the car, take a couple sips.
In my career, but I wanted to come to Tom's defense on the geyser issue. These sprinkler heads in the golf courses, man, those are designed and built to be run over by golf carts.
Boom.
And while I would agree that, traditionally you're not, I guess, really supposed to go off the cart near the tee box, it happens all the time. This is a faulty fucking sprinkler head.
No, we'll end it right there. But basically, this is what
All
I
right.
was saying. Finally, somebody that had some golf knowledge. I
Yeah.
thought about calling our friend Drew Garabo in Tampa because Drew still golfs all the time.
Yeah.
And say, could you please tell Tom that he did not do this?
I was.
You did not do this.
I was surprised about this one.
I think
because
it's more
I
of
got
a
a lot
prank
of
now.
people more that were on my side. I got emails from people. They're like, first they're like, I've never heard of this. Some people were like, this must have been. Like, you must have been
thinking
the
it's a
last.
prank.
I got an email literally last night that explained why this person believes that I must have just been unlucky enough to be the last straw that broke the main pipe. He's like, someone must have been hitting this over
Maybe
and over.
previously damaged.
Or previously damaged, and
Could've been for months.
you just moved it, and because
No, I just, he did say, yeah, technically you're not supposed to pull over there, but it happens all the time.
yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying, is that, everybody that likes to be like, hey, not on the side, I'm like, you can say that, but let's take a step back into reality of what actually happens.
But it all breaks down to why did it happen to me.
Oh, Dan Reed is calling us. Do we want to take
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Let's take it. What line?
Line 2.
Line 2.
This will be for next Tuesday, so the Craft to Land Festival.
Oh, man,
too.
yeah. We're picking up the line, picking it up hot on the line with us right now from Cafe Da Vinci. It's Dan Reed. What's going on, man?
Whoa, caller number 9, what's the phrase that pays?
What's shaking, man? How you been? How's everything at Cafe Da Vinci DeLand?
It's great, man. It's great. It's just cruising right along. I can't believe it's April already.
Well, you're kind of making us look good. I've been getting a lot of feedback from friends of mine that have been going and having date nights at your venue. And
Date night.
yeah, you make us look good, man. I think you have one of the more romantic and intimate, pretty spots that you can go see a show.
Yeah.
Are we still talking about Cafe Da Vinci?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that bar, man. I think it's a great spot.
Well, Dan,
Love you guys.
technically, this particular segment we're recording is for after DeLand Craft Beer Week because we.
Our stupid schedule is all over the place. We're always recording in the future.
And then, so we plugged Craft Beer Week during
We
the
did.
segment that we originally had planned. I'm just telling you so that when we start talking about Craft Beer Week, it's like it already happened. Technically, except for the
true
people
story.
on Twitch
And
that are
YouTube.
listening.
Yeah, we do have people that are listening live. So tell us, are you guys gearing up for what? This is the 14th annual craft beer.
Oh, my God. I think this is the 14th annual. Yeah, we're gearing up for that this weekend. It's this Saturday. For the people on Twitch, I'll tell you this. There's still some tickets available.
Nice.
There's VIP and there's general admission. The VIP is $70. That gets you in most notably an hour early, so that gets you in at noon.
Good.
And it gets you a swag bag. You get a free 4-pack of beer. Who knows what's in the bag? I sure don't. And then general admission is $40, and that's from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And we'll have live music at Cafe Da Vinci throughout the beer festival. And, it's a great time for a great cause.
It is great.
Support local downtown.
It's one of my more favorite ones. The first time that I was ever able to attend, I actually just happened upon it by accident and was like, yep, let's snag some tickets and get on in there. So over 200 beers from what I was reading that you can imbibe and try. And like Dan said, live music at Cafe Da Vinci. Do you know what bands you have playing? Will Truphonic be playing at all?
Not Truphonic. Truphonic will actually be next Saturday. They'll be closing out the Delandapalooza.
What?
Wow, Delandapalooza.
What is Delandapalooza?
It's a music festival. We do them twice a year. So in November we have the DeLand Original Music Festival, and then Delandapalooza is kind of, you don't necessarily have to be an original band.
Oh, that's very cool, man.
Yeah,
and so
that's our spring festival.
Yeah, and so for our friends that love Truphonic, because they're a damn good band, you can go see them close out the Delandapalooza Festival.
Dan,
they'll go on at 11 o'clock that night, and they will be on until 1 a.m.
Good, loud, I love it.
So Dan, I got an odd question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm curious. I just thought of this. So you've talked to a lot of bands throughout the years, correct?
Yes.
And because Cafe Da Vinci books, a lot of awesome local bands, touring bands, they come through Cafe Da Vinci a lot.
They've had pretty much anybody you can think of.
And there's usually, unless the band has a outside manager or a promoter, and maybe they're because they're a little bit bigger. One of the band members acts as kind of their manager usually when they start off, right? Like booking and
typically.
So I'm curious, is there any I guess a stereotype or like one member more than the others that tends to be the manager of the band?
Oh,
like,
so
for
you
instance,
mean like I work with only bass players?
Or like the lead singer or the drummer usually is the manager. Like
a lot of times it's the drummer.
Yeah, I was about to say that. The drummer
and bass player and the supervillains. I know that.
ends up being the man because the front. I feel like maybe the singer's more artistic and more like of a character and maybe less of a businessman. The drummer,
guitarist is too reserved.
I don't know.
Recluse.
Is
there?
I think if I put it together and made a list, I think just off the top of my head, the singer is usually the guy you talk to about, payment and that sort of thing, and they do the booking. Or the lead guitar is a real close second.
Okay,
interesting.
Because the singer does make sense. So the front man of the band
Face
is
of the
usually the
band.
face, and then want to have probably more control with the business side of it. But Sam's right. Like the drummer, I've found that maybe this is because like supervillains or
Cash out.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
It's reggae, and reggae is a drummer.
Yeah, in reggae, it's the rhythm section is taking care of things.
So Dan, anything else going on at Cafe Da Vinci coming up? We got.
Well, I can talk about two things because one was just announced today and one was announced last week. So I'll start with the one that was announced today. You know what? I'm going to go to the one that was last week because the one that's announced today is really big.
Okay.
Last week announced on July 27th, Cashed Out, finally making a return to Cafe Da Vinci. Those guys are great. Right?
Awesome.
Love them.
Yep, we love those guys too. Got to work with them at our land cruise. Great band, so everybody should go check them out.
I might go to that.
You want to go?
Yeah, because I've been playing a lot of Cashed Out on my boat.
So good.
Like it's our number one boat.
Oh, it's great.
Soundtrack that when we're going up to St. John's is Cashed Out.
Oh, so good, so good.
All right. When is that?
Perfect. That is going to be July 27th.
Okay.
And announced today. Actually, might be announced in 15 minutes officially. I think they announced them at noon, but I'll go ahead and say it now. You heard it here first.
All right.
July 13th, Julian Marley at Cafe Da Vinci.
Whoa, wow. Julian Marley, man. I swear to God, I dated a girl that absolutely loved him and had all of his records out of the family. That was her favorite.
That's awesome.
Very cool, man. Well, that's
July is shaping up.
Yeah, that's certainly something to be excited about. You guys are going to have all the fun summer vibes at Cafe Da Vinci. Good Lord.
Well, Dan,
what it feels like.
Thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate the sponsorship.
Yep.
Of course, go by Cafe Da Vinci, grab a pint glass. You still have some, Dan?
I got about a box left.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
all right, head over there.
Yeah, head by, grab one, grab a beer, and see some awesome bands.
Check it out and enjoy one of our favorite venues. Dan, thank you so much for the time, man, and good luck with everything. We'll see you in July, okay?
Appreciate you, fellas. Take care.
All right,
see
man.
you,
Be
Dan.
good. That is Dan Reed from Cafe da Vinci DeLand.
I love when we have sponsors that are also like the owner of the place and we could talk to and have a relationship with it. Just, it feels more like, like the picture we have of me and your dad and my dad shaking hands at a
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's more of just regular Florida business
old
deal.
well, I mean, I was going to say for us more like we're the trashy guys.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get the word out, man.
It's fine with dealing with corporations and marketing agencies and things like that, but
Yeah.
there's more corporate. This is the old-fashioned, you own Cafe da Vinci's, we own T&D Media, we'll talk about it.
Shake on it.
Yeah.
I want to say Julian Marley. Trying to think of the song there was a song that he did that I really, really loved back in the day. I'm going to have to go back through and find the
How many
album.
different Marleys are still performing?
Damien,
Yeah.
Julian.
Probably a bunch more that we just are less popular.
Probably.
I'm sure there's
I don't want to mess this up. We'll have Sam look it up.
A lot of Marleys probably went into the music business and make money off that somehow,
Well,
right?
is Damien? Who was Junior Gong? That's what his dad was Bob Marley, and his dad called him Junior Gong.
Okay.
Because you remember Bob Marley's brand was Tough Gong.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But I'm blanking on all the names. I used to be way more into reggae, pardon me, and way more into like at least Bob Marley. I remember reading his. Remember the book Legend?
Yep.
And then they had the CD that came out at the same time. It was kind of like his biography and everything. I read it cover to cover.
Oh,
and
man. There's we got
it's a lot. A lot of
Kaimani, Julian, Ziggy, Damien, and
Ziggy.
Steven.
Okay, I forgot Steven and Ziggy.
I think those were all the sons.
Ziggy's one of my favorites too.
Rita Marley.
Rita
was his wife.
Yeah,
Did she go
She
out and
was
perform?
She was
she
singing
in
with the
music.
Wailers,
Yep,
yeah.
she was in music.
She would sing in the
let's
Wailers.
see.
Because just from if you are born with that name, like
It's like being born Bob Dylan's son, Jacob Dylan, from the Wallflowers or something,
like
right?
you have to.
Sharon Marley was a part of Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers.
All right. You should try to make money off of it because it's an advantage to you. To do
Fadela
so.
Marley she is the CEO of a record label
Good Lord.
Like you can't
and has
just
a clothing line.
go into owning a
Marley's
pinch a
used
penny.
tires. Why not? Why can't you?
Well, I guess for if you do own something, you got to call it Marley something. Like you can't just go and
Marley and
never
me.
use your name.
Bambata Marley.
Bambata?
He's the eldest son of Ziggy Marley. He plays music.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now you're getting into
Joe
the
Mersa
kids.
Marley. Yeah, it's all the
kids'
all the
kids.
grandchildren
Yeah.
are in music too.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving some
Skip Marley.
You're leaving money on the table if you don't go into the music business somehow because of the name. Like
What if you don't have any talent?
find some way to use your name, like go start selling musical
I would
equipment
like to see
or something.
If
a
I were
bar.
a Marley, I would open up a Just Puppies.
Yeah.
Marley's.
Just Marley.
No, Marley's Just Puppies.
You may want to go weed.
Marley's Harley. Sell Harleys.
I could say Harleys. Marley's Harleys.
Yeah, well, the demographic is you
He's
gotta
a little off.
You're gonna go into reggae themed. You guys
Okay,
are going the
I don't
opposite
want
way.
to. I don't want to do your
You gotta
stupid
do,
reggae. No,
you gotta go reggae
no.
ball. You gotta go something.
I don't want to. You know what?
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
to your pinch a penny idea. I'm going to open up just a regular old pool shack.
Well,
Marley's pool cleaning.
I guess.
Oh, you know what I want to
people
open
are
up?
Relaxed. Uh-huh.
You know what I saw the other day that I was like, oh my God, what a great name. I saw a pool. It's a place where you go and you play pool, and they sell pool cues and pool tables, and it's called, ready? Euphoria. And I literally stopped in my car, pulled over, and cried a tear when I go, Euphoria. That's amazing.
Will you guys help me start a small business?
What are we doing?
What are we doing right now?
I don't know.
You don't know what this is, but you want to start a new
He wants to
one.
abandon this one.
No.
It's kind of like me when I'm playing Minecraft. I say, I trash it all. Let's start over.
No, this is fine, and then
Okay.
the D&D marketing is fine.
Marley's Harleys?
But I just want to start another small business under
what
the
kind of business?
D&D
How
umbrella.
about
I don't know.
Marley's Cockchootery?
Well, what do we sell?
The Fairvilla Cockchootery plates.
Okay, all right. Well, do we produce them or do you
No,
just buy them wholesale
we just
and
buy them
resell?
wholesale from the Canadian company.
Well, that's what Fairvilla does. Okay, I was like, let's just buy.
What
and
if we compete against Fairvilla and open up
Marley Villa.
Marley Villa.
Well, we need one of the Marleys to go in business with. Like,
We'll
we have
just
to use their
lie.
name.
We'll just lie and say
Well,
we're one
Julian's
of the
coming.
They'll
Yeah.
sue
In
us.
July, we'll
They'll
ask 'em.
sue us.
Bill Marley.
I just like I want to dip my toe into some other
Don't
business.
talk about toes and Marley's.
Okay, let's think about it. We have.
Yeah.
I thought we had T&D marketing, which is kind of
We
an
do.
arm of the Air T&D. That's not a small business.
Yeah, but that's running itself, and now I'm bored of.
Okay.
There's nothing else to do.
I'm glad you're being honest about it.
Like, Dice. The reason I saw this, I
I
saw
know.
Dice Man in here the other day,
I
and
know,
he's
he's got a
always
new company.
He's got 10 new companies all the time.
I need to give him the feedback. He has a new Can I talk about it?
Yeah. I
Well,
think so. I
he
don't
has
know.
a new
Can you buy it
company,
yet?
And then he has it's a hydration company.
Yeah.
It's like a drink.
Yeah.
And he has 3 flavors: lemon lime, berry blast, and strawberry banana. And berry blast was my daughter says very good.
Yeah.
Strawberry banana, she said, was disgusting.
No.
She said it was horrible.
It's
Tracy, write that down.
what's the
Strawberry banana is a no-go, but berry blast was approved.
no? It's called what is it called?
It's called
Instant IV.
Instant IV.
Yeah.
MyInstanIV.com.
There you
Yeah,
go.
all right. Yeah. It's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Because
We
it's
need
just
something like this. Marley's Instant.
we can't take. It'll sue
Yeah,
us.
no,
gotta be
no,
a-
we're just saying a blank. He doesn't own the word Marley. We're making our mascot's name is Marley,
Uh-huh.
and he's like it'll be like a little dehydrated guy, right? He's like,
But
yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like,
Marley's IVs. All right, write that down.
yeah, Marley, yeah. Bob. What's another Bob? Robert Marley's.
But we don't. It's too hard to make the powders and all that. I don't know anything about
We'll just
that.
buy.
Kratom.
We need.
Let's just buy Kratom and put it in the.
Oh, we open a smoke shop. Let's do a
Oh,
smoke
they're
shop.
everywhere.
I've always wanted to open up a good old smoke shop. What do you want? You want a Puffco? What do you need? A 518 battery?
Because I feel like they are
need a
legal
hookah
drug
rig?
dealers. They're selling like fringe drugs in there,
Yeah.
and that's like kratom
You know,
and all
I'm this
the.
close to
Salvia.
I'm this
The-
close to quitting
Delta
this
9?
stupid show and start selling Delta 9 out of my house.
Well,
Can make more money.
Was open T&D smoke shop and then vape carts. and
Marley's
stuff.
Smoke Shop.
Can we make it less trashy? Why are
could.
they
Oh,
all
upscale smoke shop.
every time
Yeah.
I walk into
Why
a
are they
smoke
always
shop?
next to a rim store?
I put up my collar like I'm
It's always next to a rent-a-rim.
A lot of lights too.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of turn off your you got too many LEDs in here. Why are you always in the back? Stand in front of the counter. Why are you
Yeah.
always in the back?
It's like, do we
Gotta be
need so
prepared.
many glass cases?
God, why
You
does
your
it-
jewelry shop?
It smells like patchouli and tapestries in here.
Yeah.
So dusty.
And you're hanging all your products on a corkboard behind you, like it's some sort of county fair, and you're like, these are the
And
prices.
you put out all the
What is
bongs,
it?
you put out all the bongs, and because you can't call them bong, you put them all away at night. No, just leave them out. You got too much work. All right, we need another.
How much does a smoke shop make? A lot.
But everybody.
There's so many
Okay,
of
can I
them.
just say something? Everybody in the smoke shop looks sad. They look sad.
I can't
Their
tell
job
you
is
the last time
Name
I've been
one.
inside of
Name
one.
one person that you've ever saw in a smoke shop that was like fired up to be there.
They're all
they're
high.
they're all
sad.
they're all on
so-
drugs.
but they're all very sad.
I think
A lot of times they
you're
don't even know if
mistaking-
you're in there. You know the one over
That's
here
it,
in
they're too
Colonial?
high.
When
Yeah,
I bought a
they're
bong,
not sad, they're high.
I bought a bong, a Vogue bong, vlog. I forget the name of it. I bought some expensive, like name brand bong. Well, it was black glass, and then in the center it was clear, and it has the tubes. It's got the crazy tubes in it that suck the water up. And then it's got the ice pinches. It's got all these
Okay.
features I don't need. It's got all these fancy things
Yeah.
that the kids like. And I bought it, and the guy, I swear to God, I stood in there for like a half an hour before the guy even knew I was there when I wanted to buy it. In the store, hello, you know, like he's over there, like counting money, staring at the wall. Like,
I got it.
Tom and Dan's.
Back in the late 90s, I remember a lot more paintball stores around.
Oh, I just watched how those were made on How It's Made the other night.
But paintball guns or paintballs?
Paintballs.
Oh, okay. Seems pretty. How are they made? Just like they have the ball mold.
We should change this show to the audio version of How It's Made, where we watch How It's Made and then we tell you it's like
It's on Tubi.
Poorly.
Dude, it's on Tubi. You got to check it out.
Tubi rules. Are you on Tubi yet?
No.
Gotta get on
I
that
only watch Tubi.
Tubi.
I only watch shows that are from like 1972 to
98.
2016.
I think the latest I've gone is like 2004. It's great.
It's all free, right?
Yeah, it's free.
I started
Oh.
watching a documentary that they suggested it in the BDM
Yeah?
group, and it's called Daytona Bike Week Exposed.
Oh, yes.
It's from 2003.
Wacky Jackie.
Wacky Jackie's the host of it. As you know,
R.I.P..
do you know who the main host is? He dead?
Yeah.
Wacky Jackie's the side host. He puts Bud Lights on women's boobs and gets their nipples hard, and then he uses his mouth in the video. And you know who the main host is? And he's a big fat slob, Wacky Jackie. And you know who the main host is? Jen from Jenna Tortures.
Really?
Yeah, and she's got on like a Nazi helmet and long like yellow braids or whatever, you know, like she's got like the Marilyn Manson, you know, like the I'm a Nazi soldier man. Like I use a Nazi typewriter helmet. You know, it's like it's not the helmet, it's the hat.
Yeah.
I'm an officer.
The
And
SS.
she's got that. She's walking the streets of Daytona, and there's girls just flashing their boobs everywhere. This is from 2003. You could not do this now. It is called Daytona Bike Week Exposed, and I sat there. I watched it with my daughter last night. No, I watched it by myself.
Was the footage from like 2000?
Yes,
Okay.
it's all high sides, but the amount of nudity in it is so gratuitous that it makes Girls Gone Wild. It would make Girls Gone Wild blush. And Wacky Jackie is...
There's not that much
and
nudity,
he's-
right, anymore.
Not anymore. On on porno sites, sure,
No,
but
no,
on
no, I'm talking about in Daytona Bike Week. It just happened.
I don't know.
not like it
I don't
used
think
to
it-
be,
I don't think
no.
there is.
There were girls in this video. Sam, let me just set the scene. This girl walks up to Wacky Jackie. He's holding a can of Bud Light. And he's like, he just blatantly says, "Hey, let me see those things." And then she pulls them out, and then he puts the beer on them, and he's like, "Hey, they're getting hard." You know, he's doing that kind of thing. And then he's like, "How about a little peck?" Oh.
No.
And she's like,
Come on.
and she's like, "Go ahead." You know, like, and,
They're filming a
and they're filming
documentary.
it, and he's just blah, 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 and he's like doing the thing, and then she's like, "Oh my God!" And then she pulls them out again for like other guys. They're all lining up, and I'm like, "What am I watching?" I was like, "This."
Daytona in the 90s.
This
2000s.
is it is like if you went to Daytona, if you played that and said this is Daytona, people would be like, "No, it's not." I don't believe you.
That's how it used to be. Not anymore.
And he had bleach tips and like a dragonfly flame shirt on, and his sunglasses, white sunglasses. He was kind of like a Guy Fieri looking dude.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who goes to Bike Week?
My dad lived
no, I know,
for
yeah.
Bike Week.
But
Okay.
like currently, no.
I see Cactus Steve's out there. That's the only one I know.
I don't think he went out there this
No,
year.
No?
I don't
He's
think
got a
he
lot of
went.
health problems.
Yeah, he does have a lot of health problems. The last thing I saw on the BDM page was he said that he is traveling with his wife. And he's supporting her, and that he is bored, and because he can't drink, and he wants to kill himself.
No, come on.
That's what he said.
He just said
He
it as a
said
joke.
if I continue down this road, I'm going to off myself.
No.
He did call you out though in a thread, Tom,
Yeah,
saying
no,
how
he's
Tom's gay.
he does things by himself, and everybody should be able to.
Yeah, no, I saw. He's
Yeah.
he's a super nice guy.
Well,
Although
that'll make it all better.
you know, when you're at a hotel with your wife, like I understand. I'd leave the hotel.
Hotel.
Well, he just said like he wandered off,
Yeah.
like down, like
I like doing that.
I could
You go
wander.
exploring.
I can go downstairs to the lobby, have some coffee, wander out. If I'm on the
Go
strip
down to
in
the lobby
Vegas,
and have coffee. What are you, 75?
No, I was just saying, like, what he described, it wasn't really what I was talking about as far as like going out to dinner by yourself or a movie when you're at your, at your house or whatever, not when you're on vacation and your wife's on business and then you're doing your own
Right.
thing. It get a little bit different. I could do that.
Yeah,
No.
because you're in a new area.
Yeah. I'm just not gonna plan something to like my for my own adventure, like travel to Nashville, like go see the sights of it. It's
Yeah.
weird to be vacationing by myself.
Yeah.
Also, dependent on.
I think
everybody around.
that used to be a thing. I used to know people that like the husband and wife would take separate vacations. Jim Phillips used to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a thing.
But if you're with someone else, but yeah, Jim Phillips would do it by himself. And
Completely by
that's
himself.
cool.
And she would do it by herself. And it wasn't because they didn't love each other or anything. It was just like she
Her
wanted to go do this,
interests,
and
yeah.
he wanted to go do this, and that's fine. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. Let's try this one.
Hey, show, listening to ACT where you're talking about the comedian whose PR people said, don't talk about the YouTube deal, and that's what she did. I was once at a radio station thing where they brought in Aaron Lewis, who's the dude from
I
Stained.
think we heard this.
Yeah,
And,
I think this one we did here. I think, unless you were sitting there one day. Sometimes it happens.
I don't remember this.
Sometimes it happens where Sam and I will
It's
sit here and
possible.
listen to the voicemails.
Yeah, and you can't
And then-
remember if it's part of the show
Correct.
or.
That's even like when we have conversations off air, and I'm like, did we talk about this
I
on the
know,
show?
Yeah.
but anyway, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with
I
it.
don't think we heard this one.
This one is about Aaron Lewis from the band Stained.
Aaron Lewis, who's the dude from Stained, and right before he came out to perform for the live studio audience, his PR folks were out and they said, do not talk about Stained, do not ask questions about Stained, do not request a Stained song, because if you do, he will get up and leave. We're warning you now, do not talk about Stained. And then he came out and he sang one or two country songs, then sang a Stained song, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, PR people are stupid. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, like
Okay.
from what I understood, Aaron Lewis that's his thing now. He's not really like he'll do Stained songs, but he'll also do like his like anti-woke and like he's very conservative. I mean, it's fine, whatever.
Is it the Been a While guy?
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while, guy.
Okay.
But he'll do that. I
Why
don't
does he
think
want to talk about Stained?
No, he doesn't. He will talk about it.
okay.
It's
Well,
just
what this guy's saying is it's the PR people,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
the actual artist.
But what's weird is where did the PR people get that from? That's what I'm curious about.
and it's every PR person.
It's probably because the record label that has them currently signed for country music or for whatever, they
Yeah,
want to
wants to
put, they want to
distance them
push,
from the
what they're
It'd
currently
be like
doing.
if
Now,
we-
I don't understand the comedian thing because that I feel like her character would have got more people there, but who the hell knows?
yeah.
I mean, wouldn't
Yeah.
if you said though, I mean, like just from a PR standpoint, if you said it's Aaron Lewis with his new country songs and also doing your favorite Stained
Hits,
songs,
yeah.
how does that hurt anything?
Yeah, exactly.
How does that hurt anything?
Everybody's going to want to hear it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's the only thing I would want to hear. I don't want to hear his stupid country songs, but I would listen to him sing "Been a While."
because corporations are fake
Little
and
mud shovel.
they won't. They don't want to admit that the audience is smart enough to realize, okay, that's fine. They're just like, nope, don't mention this. This is your new project, so we don't want to distance ourselves from the old thing. And it's like, yeah, but the audience is gonna want the hit.
Right.
They're not stupid. They know you're from Stained. That's how you got famous. So just mention it. It's awkward if you never did. It's like I remember like in radio, certain guests. Like,
There's only been two that
Norm
I've ever
from
dealt with.
Cheers
George
or-
Wendt,
Yeah.
who was Norm from
and
Cheers.
he's like, don't talk about Norm.
And then, and it was the Dynamite guy,
yeah, Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker,
Yeah.
JJ Jimmy
Like,
Walker.
if you say Dynamite, he's gonna get up
Yeah,
and
they're
walk
like,
out.
walk out if you say Dynamite. I was like, he was built on Dynamite.
But
I think he has since changed his tune about that, though. I think I heard that recently.
Yeah. But also, it's like,
Well,
don't-
now I'm gonna change my tune. Now I don't want to.
Don't ever mention it,
Don't
yeah.
even mention it.
What were you in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It can work both ways, Dynamite.
Reverse.
and also, you're telling a bunch of shock jocks what not to say to get them to walk out. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want to piss off Jimmy Walker and have him walk out, and then now post the video of him walking
Oh, I
out.
used to hate that part of our job though, when you knew that you were going to try to walk them. Oh,
Yeah,
I hated.
yeah,
I always hated
just for
that.
publicity.
Yeah, oh
or
man, I
like
always hated that.
To get some sort of scandal, like it is stupid.
Not good. Let's go with this one right here. Get a couple of emails too, Sam, because I'm not liking the looks of my voicemails here.
Hey guys, Manhattan BDM here. I just want to quickly call and say I think it's amazing that a Mediocre Time has come full circle with this chat GBT. And what I mean by that is I was an early adopter. I was a day one listener. And early on, I think 2 studios ago, day one, early on you used to have this robot app read emails and stories. I think you called it News Robot or something along those lines. And here we are 13 years later, And you now have a robot app that can read and write emails and stories. And I just think that's amazing and crazy and scary. And we're inching closer and closer to robot foot crushing our skulls. Love you guys. Bye.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we started doing that because we didn't have anybody else in here. You know, we didn't have Fat John, the intern. We didn't have Samantha working with us at the time. And it was just you and I doing the show. And we needed, in my mind, we needed another voice to kind of break it up and read the emails. And then there was another podcast that was podcasting at the time in Orlando that stole our idea blatantly and started doing it. And then Jim Phillips even started doing the exact same thing with like a character he called Big Daddy on his show, where he would get the. I'm not saying he stole it from us. I'm just saying, you know what I am going to say. They all stole it from us because we're the originators, we're the kings, we're the best. No, it was just it lined up, right?
Yeah. And the technology of someone or the program reading something, it was newer at the time. So
and then people would ask me like, why did you phase it out? And my honest answer would be, it served its purpose for what we needed it to do. Other people had already moved on to it, which honestly makes Tom and I want to move on to something else. So we'll just move on.
Nowadays, though, you can get the robot to read it in a really good human voice.
They have good AI.
Yeah.
I use some of those for...
Because back then it was choppy and you could only listen to a certain amount.
And it didn't pronounce certain words correctly.
Yeah,
you can go in and adjust it now. Like if I want it to say, Samantha, like your last name, it may go... hair, and you can go in and like click it around and move it, and then it'll go har, and then you're like, I got it dialed in. And then you can make har. You can go and change every aspect to it. Now, I'm not the type of person to sit there and do it because it takes forever. It just takes forever to fine tune that kind of stuff. But if you want to do it, you can do it.
And the original, like listening to the robot 13 years ago, like longer than a couple sentences, it was harsh.
It was hard.
Like you're like, oh God. Like
it's pretty popular on TikTok now, though. Like
it
the
is.
choppy robot talk.
Because they can do it. It'll be like...
Oh, I'll watch complete videos where the whole 3 minutes is in the robot voice.
It'll be like,
I guess you're right.
watch my 3-year-old make a brand new hip-hop song.
Yeah.
And then it'll be the kid putting it together. Have you seen that kid that writes the hip-hop songs?
Yeah.
And he adds like the different beats and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I do hate that voice when it's like, what your mom says to you when you come in late. And I'm like, oh, God.
The inflection's all weird.
Stupid TikTok. You're sucking the smarts out of all of us.
But it's a nothing.
It's not. It angers me.
I could see, though, I think it does, like, screw your brain up. Like
You think so?
What, to listen to robots?
No, just to watch small clips over and over for long periods of time. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it is the form of torture that they use to brainwash the protagonist in A Clockwork Orange. At the end of the movie, right, in order to brainwash them, they hold their eyes open and they show them tiny clips of horrible things, which is what you guys are doing to yourselves actively.
I watch awesome things.
Yeah, and I mean, it is
to you.
I'm trying to tell myself that it's valuable because I'm consuming a bunch.
Because you're addicted and you love it. That's what I say about beer. I say beer is valuable to me, but I'm addicted and I love it.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's no different.
I do have to be honest. So, like, am I just justifying this behavior? Because I'm like, well, I'm absorbing micro content that I can use for the show and information and like.
Oh my God!
Like, there's some sports stuff. There's some popular culture stuff. There's some things that happen on podcasts.
I got something. I got something from TikTok I want to bring up to you and to Sam, and I want you guys to tell me if you think it's real or not.
Okay.
Have you seen the clip on TikTok of the lady? And I don't think it uses the robot voice, but it does have, like, it uses the text on the very top of the video. And she writes, my father has horrible dementia, but he will always take time to tell strangers how proud he is and how much he loves his family. And then she says, he doesn't know he's talking to me, his daughter. And it's her sitting next to her dad, and they're just having a conversation. And the girl's like, oh, it's very nice to meet you. And he's like, it's nice to meet you, too. And then, like, just talking, like, at a diner. And then he's just kind of sharing compliments. He's like, yeah, I got married. You know, we got back together, me and the lady. We got back together. And then I had 2 daughters, 2 beautiful daughters. You know, they're smart. They're sharp. They're real sharp. I love them so much. I just love them. I love them so much. And then the lady's like, She starts crying, and she's like, I'm sure they love you too. And she's like, he doesn't know he's talking to me, his daughter. And I'm like, is that fake? That's fake, right?
I mean, that does happen.
Is that fake? That lady.
I don't know if it's fake, but if it's not, it's a little exploitative. A little bit.
So she videoed her dad and had him over. He's just pouring out compliments about, and he's telling these heartfelt stories about like, he has these two daughters
Well,
in the
you
show.
can't love her that much, old man. It's me. I'm sitting right here.
I'm right here. What's wrong with your brain, you idiot?
How much do you love him? It's me. Anyway,
you're the problem. It's me.
It's hard to know if that's fake or not. Although,
I think it's fake. I
if
thought it was
if
fake.
It's really,
but he got me, dude.
I
He
feel
got
like
me.
people would call them out.
Sam, find it.
Fake dementia.
Please find it, because I saw it and it got me. You know how sensitive I am.
People can't
man.
act that good, so it probably is real.
I think
you know
it
what I'm
is
saying?
real.
Like,
And I feel
if
that
it looks real, you're like, amateurs can't do that good
The
of
guy,
a job.
I'll tell you what made it real. The guy.
Yeah, it's too good.
Not the lady.
Yeah.
But the guy, when he's telling the story, it's one of those things that when you see it, you're like, you got me. I started to get sad. I started to cry. And then I'm like,
This guy looks like Tommy Gilligan.
It does look like Tommy Gilligan. I was like, I don't think you should be doing this. Do you want me to play it? Send it to me. Send it to me. We'll play it. We got time to play it.
Hold on.
It is.
I hope this is the right one.
It is.
They're sitting at like a diner, like side by side.
It's an article and it's embedded within it.
So, okay, let's really look at this because it's easy to immediately say, what are you doing, exploiting your dad for social media? Like, don't show that. Like, give him some dignity.
Well, it reminded me of Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Get the camera off.
There's multiple videos in this article, so I sent it to you.
And then also like, this person has dementia. You shouldn't be using it as content.
People are getting real upset with like all of Bruce Willis's family too, because they feel like they're kind of.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is the guy.
Okay.
100%. This is the guy. Yeah.
Okay, let me see the video.
That's not the one.
But then if you want to just play devil's advocate and then look at the positives, is it exposing the world to what dementia looks like so that you can understand, like, okay, this is what, because people that don't have any experience with it often are confused by what it really is, right? I've seen it with like friends, grandmas and stuff, and like my grandfather's brother had real bad dementia.
Yeah, my great-grandfather had it too.
And so I've kind of experienced of what it is, and so I understood it better. So does this spread understanding of dementia?
I just emailed you another one, Dan. I think that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's one that...
I guess you could make that argument, yeah.
But it does seem at the root of it's like gross, like, oh God, don't show your dad's dementia, and then like it's a weird and awkward.
Yeah, this is it.
Well, at least he's being loving and not being like a hateful racist or something.
Yeah, this is
Look at my dad says the N-word.
Right.
Yeah, this is the one that I was actually watching that, like, oh man, and it got me. It got me so good. Let me see if I can put this up here for everybody to see. Give me a second here.
I'll be able to determine if it's real.
Okay,
or not.
here we go. Here it is.
How did you get started with commercial diving?
I was a scuba diver, and I loved scuba diving so much. My wife took my daughters and left me, moved to Texas. I was in Arizona, and I decided that I wanted to make a career out of diving.
Yeah.
Instead of because I was just a scuba diver, just having fun scuba diving, I decided to go to dive school, and I went to dive school, became a commercial diver, and then hooked up with a company. Started working offshore on boats.
I'm sorry to hear about your wife.
We got back together for a little while, but
Okay.
we're now very good friends.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes, that is good.
That's good. Do you guys have a better relationship as friends? You think?
I don't think so.
No. But
We don't ever argue.
okay. Would you argue when you were married?
Sure we do, like any married couple does.
Yeah.
Sure.
What was her name?
Rhonda.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
It's a beautiful name.
Okay. What are your daughters' names?
Paige and Bailey.
Aw, those are pretty names too.
It matches the girls. The girls are beautiful. Beautiful girls. Wonderful, intelligent, quick, sharp.
Nothing like you.
I'd be interested because it kind of just starts with her asking questions. What does she say to him when she's setting up her phone of like, hey, I'm going to interview you real quick, or like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. See, that's where it starts to get muddy.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna do what I normally don't do. I'm gonna reverse everything that I've said. I'm gonna say this is real. and that it's not exploitative. I think it's what you're saying.
Trying to bring awareness.
I think it does pull back a little bit and let people understand that if you don't talk about this kind of stuff, if you do just kind of tuck it away, then it does get weird. Like she's sharing that like here it finishes. Now here's where it gets a little emotional to me. Check this out.
Everything a father would dream for in a daughter. They're the best.
That's really nice to say. I'm sure they love you just as much as you love them.
I think they do. I feel it in my heart. And when we break apart and we go our separate ways, and I cry, I don't let them see it. Of course, they don't know that. And I feel their love in my tears. It's beautiful. I'm a lucky man. I'm very, very lucky.
I think they're really lucky too.
Well, that's when I started crying on the side of the road.
Fake. I saw it at the end. I saw it at the end.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one.
I don't know if, because in my experience with dementia, and I only believe what I've seen.
Okay. Okay. If I'm going to be Tom, have you ever interacted with somebody with dementia?
Yeah, my grandfather's brother, and Crystal tells the story all the time. My grandfather's brother, we went to a funeral for one of my grandfather's sons, and it was over on the coast.
Yeah.
And we went there, and my grandfather's brother, this is the last time I saw him, like 8 years ago, maybe more than that now, 10 years ago. And I remember, like, my grandfather always told me, like, yeah, my brother's got bad dementia. He goes on cruises all the time. Like, that's his thing. He goes on cruises. His wife takes him, but they have to watch him and stuff because he'll wander out of the room.
Safest place for him is on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic.
That seems a little...
So he came up, super nice guy, like, when it came up to my wife, and then he's like, hey, good to meet you. Like, I won't remember your name, and I don't even know who I am.
Oh, so he was aware.
But this is what you say to our clients.
But he's like, my wife does, so she'll tell you. So
I'm gonna go get drunk.
And he was like,
having a great time.
It was like that. It was weird.
You understand there are different types of dementia as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I know. Yeah, right.
But I like to put them all into a cookie cutter hole, Sam.
But it's like it is weird why he's like explaining who does he think he's talking to, or does it matter?
That's kind of what I was wondering, like, how does she set up asking these questions? Who does she say she is? Is she saying, like, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions?
I hope she says I'm Oprah Winfrey.
It didn't seem like a supernatural conversation, It was more like an interview.
Like at the diner. Yeah. Like they're just talking at the diner or something.
And then I've seen, and Crystal scenes later forms of dementia, and then it starts getting real bad where it's almost like they're in a constant mode of reset in their brain, and they don't know they don't know what's going on at any time. Like
the only time
they can kind of recognize someone, then it's gone, then it's not even like they can recall old stories, and they don't know who this is a little too specific, or he knew everything.
He knows a lot of stuff,
and then he just didn't recognize his daughter.
It's like The Notebook.
Yeah.
Like I've only interacted with somebody that had dementia one time. It was at a holiday party. The person was in their like lazy boy sitting there, and they had been gifted some slippers, and other relatives were trying to put the slippers on her feet, and she had a fit about it and started screaming, the slippers are hurting my feet, like loud as hell.
There's a lot of panic.
Yeah, there's a lot of panic, and then we were ushered her away, and then it was never to be seen again.
The reality of it is a lot less sweet than this guy just saying all these nice things, but not really understanding.
It could be the slippers are too tight. Why are you hurting me? And they get ushered away, never to be seen again. That's what I saw.
The problem is it doesn't matter. That's the thing that sucks. Like this video, no one even cares if it's real or not.
No,
it's a nothing.
It's a nothing.
But
just got to digest it to rot your brain.
But we should really care to find out the truth. Is it fake or is it the truth or is it real?
Too tired.
Yeah. But it doesn't really matter. So why? Who cares?
All right.
And there's too much of it. There's like one, and then you're like, just keep scrolling.
There's 100 of these guys.
Yeah. And then it's like, what's the point of this person even doing this? Is it for public service or is it to get the clicks?
Why does it matter?
Because your intention matters. If it's to get the clicks,
but only if I care.
Yeah, only if you care.
Right. Your intention only matters.
Nothing matters. But it's like if her intention is to get clicks, then it leads me towards it could be fake.
Yeah.
Because if it's to public service, maybe real.
Well, that's pretty popular. I mean, it's pretty popular. You can look it up on the TikTok.
I bet one of the comments knows. That's the way to find the truth. Someone's like, "This is my
Well, that's
brother."
what I was gonna say. People
Yeah.
know who they are, so I'm sure they'd be exposed if it was
I think
fake.
it's real, but I didn't dig in. You know.
Yeah. But we could find out. Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's find out if.
No.
Have we ever got any update on the Crow King or?
No.
Right, so everything's answered.
Just move on to the next video.
Yeah.
We gotta
go.
Keep scrolling.
Yep.
Bye bye.
That was funny. All right.
Oh, you went way too long.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
You were really going on about.
Yeah, I know. That just.
We're feeling it today. Where's that go?
So that's next Tuesday, the 18th, 3 and 4.
We don't have anything.
Nope,
No.
that's the first thing. 3 and 4. Think that's it for today. Besides,
yep.
I'll need an intro.
And then we'll record Modern Plumbing.
Yes.
We'll just record some commercials because we should record some other commercials after lunch. I'll get all together, and that's what we'll do today. Just finish recording commercials and finish off. We'll settle on a beer name. We'll look at what we need to do for some other things coming up.
All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your lunch, and